Wow, what a performance by João Félix. You're probably sat thinking, he's only played half an hour, Haj. But listen, I saw a lot. I saw a lot in that half an hour. But that half an hour was like a statement performance because João Félix has come out himself and said, I'm looking for a new home. And I feel like if he continues to perform like this, the San Siro is his new home. But I was sat watching that game and I was like, it's all beginning to make sense. Why Sérgio Conceição wanted João Félix? Why the Milan board pushed and secured his services up until the final day of the January transfer window, and what João Félix can bring to Milan, what he can bring to his teammates, because I saw something where I was like, if he was to keep this up, Milan are going to be a very scary team in the second half of this season. But let's just touch on his overall performance before I dive into the analytics. He got himself a goal. He had an 82% pass accuracy. He had 6 passes into the final third. I want you to remember that. 6 passes into the final third. A 100% long ball accuracy. 2 out of 3 ground duels won. 2 out of 2 aerial duels won. I feel like the last 2 are the most impressive. He won 4 out of 5 of his duels. It shows there's fire in his belly. It shows there's fight. He hasn't come to Milan to just collect a wage and put Milan on his resume. No. He's come to Milan with a point to prove. And I said it. He's looking for a new home. If you want to make Milan your new home, you better make sure you perform when you put on that Milan shirt. But now let's just start off with the first thing he done as soon as he touched the pitch. Milan go long. Now Milan, as soon as him and Jimenez touched the pitch, they went into a 4-4-2. 2 split strikers. The ball goes long. Guess who gets up to win his duel in the air? João Félix. But it's not just a pointless header. No. I need to win this header and I need to make sure it falls to my teammate. He jumps, wins his header. It puts Jimenez in such an amazing opportunity to just charge at goal. And I feel like on another day, he could have returned the pass to Félix, and you never know. Milan could have scored with these 2 players being on the pitch for just 60 seconds, but it showed the fight, it showed the grit, it showed he can win his duels in the air, and on top of everything, get his headers and his flick-ons onto his teammates. Now, why did I say to you guys, remember the 6 passes into the final third? Now, when Milan signed João Félix, I said, in my opinion, he's been signed to be the connector of this team. Now, what do I mean by the connector? The connector is this. A player that connects midfield to attack. His primary purpose on the pitch is to get the ball to the attacking players in the right space at the right time on a consistent basis. And on top of that, still be a threat in the final third. Get the goals, get the assists. But he is the connector. What does a connector require? They need to be able to carry the ball, progress play through their passing. They need to have that vision in the final third. But on top of everything, they have to be a player that can consistently pass the ball forwards, because you need to pass the ball forwards to get closer to the opposition goal in order to score. It's all beginning to make sense. So 6 passes in the final third in 30 minutes. That's 1 progressive pass every 5 minutes. And this is a player that's got no chemistry, no understanding with his teammates, because he's probably only had 2 training sessions. But look, this one for me, Theo Hernandez. He drifts out wide to the left. Why does he drift out wide? He drifts out wide because he saw Theo Hernandez is ganged up on. Let me get closer to him. When he gets closer, he drags a Roma defender with him. So now you could see there's 2 Roma defenders, there's 2 Milan players. But this was all part of the plan. Suck the defender in, because then that leaves space. That Roma defender has now left space that he's now pushed forwards. As soon as that Roma defender follows João Félix, he plays the 1-2 with Theo Hernandez, gets him down the outside, unmarked, open, all the space in the world to put a cross into the box. Félix dropped deep, dragged the Roma defender with him, released his teammates. Now, this is him in the centre of the park, dropping deep, taking the ball on the turn, and just progressing play out wide to Musa. It shows he's connecting, he's bringing his teammates in the game, he's keeping the ball moving. Now, this one was lovely. He receives the ball from Rafa Leao. It just shows dynamism. Dropping deep, receiving the ball, and look at how many players are around him. Takes it on the turn and carries. So many times you see players pick up the ball, turn, just pass it. Go backwards. No. Give me the ball. I will turn and I'm going to take the game to Roma. He carries. He goes forwards. He's dynamic. He's looking to take the game to the opposition. And I feel like with this one, it shows his ability in the final third. Milan have a short corner. He drops deep. It's very similar to the goal that he scored for Chelsea against Morecambe, where he picks up the ball. And he's only got one thing on his mind. I want to get that yard to have a shot on goal. And he squares up the defender, drop of the shoulder, cuts in. Look at all the space that he has now. The shot gets blocked, but I feel like on another day, it goes into the top corner. But it showed his ability in the final third to create opportunities for himself out of nowhere. And now when you look at the goal, it's more his understanding of the game. Santi Jimenez drops deep. Now, like I've always said, 4-4-2 system. One drops deep, the other one goes. Santi Jimenez, he drops deep. Now you can see João Félix is looking at Jimenez. And he tells himself, my teammate has dropped deep. I now need to give him a forward passing option. So let me run. He runs. Jimenez finds him. Now for me, this is just a beautiful finish. It's just a composure. It's just a player of sky-high confidence. A player that knew what he was going to do before he even received the ball. He looks at the keeper, looks him dead in the eye, and dinks it over his head. It's composure. It's elite finishing. It secures the game for Milan. Now, it was an amazing performance, in my opinion, because you could see he was a player that offered a lot to Sérgio Conceição's Milan. And I've always said, Sérgio Conceição's Milan, what is his ethos? What is his blueprint? What are the things that the Portuguese manager stands for? And it's fight. And I feel like with João Félix, I've even labelled him a luxury player over the years, where I feel like he doesn't offer much off the ball, but I feel like that half an hour performance, he finally understood what was required of him and why Milan signed him. Because we're talking duels, he won. We're talking getting stuck in, he won. We're talking helping the team by dropping deep, giving them that passing option in order for them to beat Roma's press. Yes, like even when you see this photo for me is João Félix. Look at him, he's surrounded. He's surrounded by Roma players, but he's looking at his teammates and he's telling them, give me the ball. Give me the ball. Listen, I know I'm under pressure, but I'll be the person to get us out of this mess. Every Milan player, I feel like, needs a teammate like that. Like somebody that they could always look forward to and give him the ball when under pressure. And the thing about João Félix is he's got elite ball control. He's dribbling in tight areas. Like even there was a period towards the end of the game, he's picking up the ball in his own half, winning free kicks. You can't get close to him. He's got the ball control. He's got the dribbling. He's got that low center of gravity to like maneuver in and out of opposition players. And I feel like these are all attributes that make him a special player. But the thing that's always held him back is consistency. And maybe, just maybe, João Félix was right. In order for me to perform on a consistent basis, I need to be loved. And I feel like Sérgio Conceição will give him that loving. But on top of everything, I need to feel at home. And maybe, just maybe, if the San Siro becomes his home, he will go on to replicate the performances we saw in the Benfica shirt, but on top of that, cement his own legacy at Milan. But that performance for just half an hour for a player that has hardly had any training, that's got no experience of the Italian league and the tactical side and the low blocks of the defending, and it's a game of high pressure. It's a Coppa Italia game. It's knockout football. I feel like he really stepped up to the plate, and when he came off the bench, as much as Milan were winning, he brought a different dimension, a dimension that Roma couldn't hack. I feel like he had a very solid half an hour performance. Now, if you're new, make sure to subscribe. Make sure to hit the like button. Make sure to let me know what you think of that João Félix performance. And I'll catch you guys on another one.